Wow, that's amazing. I open it and I press record and it works. It's like I feel like something's about to explode. Like it shouldn't be that easy. What is up? This is Los, and I am coming to you this week with a guest, and it is Al from the Retro Rents. If you do not know Al, I have a few shows with him in my very few shows that I have here on my feed. So if you just scroll back a little bit, you'll see that there's a few shows that I have with him, and one of them in particular is a fun one that I remember very 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 fondly. It is talking about 80s and 90s cartoons and the such. So if you're keen to that, go check it out and and see listen to more Al. And well, yeah, look at that. It looks like it is only one show. I thought I'm looking it up now, and I thought we both thought that it was two shows, but it's one show, one long show. So yeah, for this one, I'm here with Al, and we're talking, and we did two separate sections, because I am doing a free account with Zoom, and they give you 40 minutes to talk to someone. So yeah, I'm utilizing that 40 minutes, and we cut it off in the middle, and then we continued it for the next show. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just go ahead and put them together and do one long show and see how that goes. But yeah, this is Al from the Retro Rents podcast. He could be found in the show notes. He is working on putting out a new show. Maybe by the time this comes out, he'll have one ready to go and out there. If not, maybe it'll be soon after this one comes out. He's just like me. He is a podcaster who just cannot find time in the busy days to put something out. But like I said to myself, like I just missed it, and he misses it too, and it's apparent because we were just rambling on about random things, and it was fun. So we sat here, we discussed gaming, we discussed books, we discussed what it's like with kids and gaming and all that stuff. So it was a good time to catch up with someone that is very very cool peoples, and I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you dig it. If you got anything to say, to comment or whatever, there is a voicemail. It is 407-906-TALK. So go ahead and give a voicemail there. Use it up before Google takes it away from me, because they're dying for it. They want to take it back. They keep messaging me every few months that I'm not using it. So use it. And email talkingplacepod@gmail.com if you got an email for anything. If you want to get at me to set something up, if you want to come on and talk and have a little bit of us time where we could chat about whatever, it would be greatly appreciated, because the whole point of this is to talk. And I want to do more of that. I want to get more people on here with different aspects of life and talk about different things and all that. So if you got something you want to say, come on and we'll chat it up and we'll go from there. So yeah, enjoy the show. I'm gonna edit it up. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put them together so it's one show with Al again. Since the second one that we did was more rambling and going off and just like, just talking about stuff here and there, and then a kid woke up and that was like a good 5 minutes lost. So yeah. So enjoy this show with Al, and then and catch you next time with another guest, or maybe myself, or whatever. We'll see. Peace out. Have a good day. Have a good week. Stay safe. Be good. All that stuff.
Oh, this certainly works better.
Wow, look, I could hear you.
Yeah, and you can see me. I look like shit.
Oh, I don't even have permission for for my thing to look at my camera. Uh,
Up, dude.
so what is up, man?
It's the first time I've talked to anybody outside. Well, no, it's that's a lie. But hold on, I just realized my office door is open and my dog's being a butt. I already let you out. Get out of here. Get off my PlayStation. I have my PlayStation under my desk so I can play Final Fantasy. 2 seconds. I'll close him out with a barricade.
All right.
Still here. Continue. Hi, Lois.
All right, you can hear me good, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh man, this is handy. Look at that. I had like a clock thing on my dock here on the computer, counting down how long I have
Yeah.
for the meeting.
Yeah,
But
for the free trial and shit.
it just tells you right here, like right on the top of the
Right.
bar. It's cool.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm very new. I'm very new to Zoom, so I'm learning as I go.
I've been using it every day for a few years now.
Yeah.
Ever since I said commuting sucks. I love it. Zoom
Yeah.
is the greatest invention next to antibiotics.
Yeah, I mean it really like came through like out of nowhere. Like it's like for us, like we had no idea what it was. And then, pandemic happened, and at home schooling and all that stuff, and now it's
Oh
like
yeah, dude.
everybody's
Yeah.
Zoom masters and stuff.
Mhm.
All right. So
Yeah, us too.
so we it's been a long time.
It's been a long time for your cast, my cast.
Yeah.
I think Retro Rents has been on about a 5-month hiatus
Th-
about that.
I think, has it been like, I felt like it was longer for you guys too.
It
I
could,
mean,
and honestly could be like
yeah.
last year. It's been hell. Like, to get real, like my mom died in April,
Yeah.
and that sucked. And then like just mental hardship hit the family for quite a few months.
Mhm.
And it's just, real life shit. We're all going through stuff. And for the longest time, like I think I don't even remember when I podcasted last. I don't know if this was a thing then. But I got laid off from HubSpot back in
Uh-huh.
January. It was like really sudden, and like I have nothing bad to say. Like they really took care of me. It's like, dude, if I have to get laid off, like that's the way I want to get laid off.
Mhm.
Like I had room to breathe. I could find another job,
Yeah.
take care of my family. Like I get it. Whatever. You had to do what you had to do, and you took care of me, so I got no complaints. And so I was busy looking for jobs. Then I started the new job, and like I'm like at a higher level at the new job, and like rightfully so, like they know what I can do, so I'm working my ass off, and they take really good care of me, so it's like I've been busting my butt.
Mhm.
So I work really hard during the day, but then, as you know, as a parent, like, especially with working from home, for me, I punch out and I don't have a commute as an excuse.
Mhm.
And in a way, like, to me, that was my way to like decompress
Yeah.
and like take my hour, listen to a podcast, because I always
Mhm.
commuted like an hour plus, and then like I'd get home and I'd be good to go. But now it's like, all right, punch out, step out of the room. All right, who wants to climb on dad?
Yep.
And I'm getting used to that now. It took a while. It took a while, and it took a while to like be able to like unplug, be there for my wife who has had, a rough day with the kids, and
Mhm.
we have three girls. Um, this is new to me, but apparently my wife's been through it. Um, no, no, I just mean like it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
I know you can relate. Like we have three kids, and I have to immediately switch. So
Hmm.
like by the end of the day, I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
Like getting used to the new job, trying to be a good dad, and then like you hit me up one night, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't gotten on a mic in a long time. And if I'm gonna get on a mic and it's not gonna be Nick, because I can't just spring it on Nick, but like Los springs it on me, and I'll be there for Los. I'm here for you, man.
There you
What's up?
go. There you go. Yeah, see? Well, it's like we for a long time, uh that however long it is that we've, been acquainted, online, we felt like we're both cut from the same cloth, like
Absolutely.
so it's like I'm right there with you, like understanding how it is balancing everything at home, like the at home life of a parent, of somebody who works full time, like just the parent aspect of it,
Yeah,
that is a full-time job by itself,
no doubt.
like everything that has to do with that. And it's like for me personally, on my end, it's like a full plate every day, like it's
Totally, man.
not only is everything going on with the kids, for three kids over here on this side too. uh it's like not only everything with the kids, it's also making sure dinner is ready at a decent time,
Mhm.
making sure you could actually walk through the house without tripping on something, or like being able to put something down if you got to put something down. Like this, cleaning up this house is like literally like double the work that it is for
And
the
dude, I
regular
I
full-time
give
job.
you and I give my wife credit for that. Like my wife shoulders that similar responsibility, and it's a
Mm.
lot.
Yeah,
Like I see
it's
it with the three kids, and like my job's a lot too, but I always tell my
mhm.
wife, like, I still feel like you got the hardest one out of both of us. Like,
Yeah, it's like
like
it's the same situation like that you have, because my wife, she works from home. She's the one that is, doing the at home job, and she's in her office is like the thing. The bad luck with her is that she doesn't have like an office. Like she had a room to herself that she could close herself up in her office or whatever, but she wanted more space. She wanted to be more open because she was like getting claustrophobic in there. So we moved her to the front room, like where the front door is, where there's like a wide open space where she could,
yeah,
be more, at home feeling, like, not secluded in a little little closed off space. So
yeah.
she's there in earshot of everything that goes on in the house, which sucks most of the time, because it seems like whenever she's on a call, that's when all the kids decide to hold all three different conversations at the same time at max level. And then when she hangs up the phone, it's
Everything's
like it's
quiet.
quiet. Nobody's talking. Nobody says anything. Everybody goes back to the. It's like a silent alarm goes off. But
Send my love. The office doesn't. Well, in my house, the office doesn't help, and I'll
mhm,
explain it very simply. Whoever built this house put up paper walls.
yeah.
Um, and I mean, and that's only part of it. Like, and the only thing I use my door for is an indication of please don't kill each other right outside of
Hmm.
this space. Like doesn't have to be super quiet because I can
Hmm.
mute even when I'm running meetings. I'm a fucking
Yep.
ace at the mute button. But like it's one of those, you know, I shut the door just like you can't barge in here. And you know what kills
Mm.
me? The door doesn't shut. You know who barges in here? The goddamn dog. I got the door shut, and all of a sudden I hear boom, and
Yep.
here comes Butthole telling me he has to go out. And you know why he does it? Because he knows the second he does, I'm like, fuck, I gotta shut my camera off and
Yeah.
let this idiot outside, or he's never gonna leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
like
weird world, man. But
it is the same thing. Same thing with the dogs here too. I have to make sure one we have two dogs, and I have to make sure that the quiet one is on the side where my wife is, so that it's, he's not bothering over there. But
yeah.
the younger, louder one would be like chasing her tail for a good half hour, 45 minutes. So
I'm
that
just
one has
glad
to stay on the side.
we have one dog dumb enough for both viewers.
Yeah.
I love Bowie, but my God, this dog, he's my box of rocks.
Oh man. Yeah. All right. So
I hijacked your show. I'm sorry.
nah, nah, no.
Why am I
This
here?
that's what no, 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 that's what this is for, because it's like it's for both of us, because we like last all right, this show right now is going to be coming out uh probably about a week or so from today, maybe.
Cool.
Uh Before this show comes out, I have a solo show that is out already.
Oh, cool.
So, because I recorded something last night that I'm like currently in the middle of editing. So, so that was like, that was my warm up. That's why I was able to set something up here
Yeah,
in like 15 minutes rather than 45 minutes, because I it was fresh in my mind. But
cool. I can't wait to hear it, man.
yeah, so yeah, I was just rambling about, books and games and all this other whatever for a half hour. But it's still, just like you, like we've mentioned, we just haven't recorded anything. Life
Yeah,
gets in the way.
it's tough. I miss
Life
it
is
too. I
crazy.
miss it
Yeah,
terribly.
that's exactly what it is. I told my wife the other day, I was like, I miss podcasting. I miss talking.
Yeah,
I miss putting something out. I talked about it on my solo show. I miss that creating feeling,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
the feeling of doing something, of like putting something out there. And even if like, five people listen, like it's something that I'm
It doesn't
putting out
matter.
there
It's the
to do,
point that like
you know?
you had the energy to get up and make something.
Yeah.
And like I didn't realize how valuable that was until I spent 5 months not doing it.
Yeah.
And in a weird like it's not a weird way, but in some ways, like hanging out with Nick on the retro rents or talking to, like we've talked to some serious people on my podcast. Like
Yes, you have.
that's my social outlet. Like to me, because I'm not a go out and do shit person on the regular. You really got to pull me out of the fucking house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But like stuff like this, like I'm so game. And like you and I, we done this once, twice. I know we did the Ghostbusters episode. That was dope.
Yes, we did. We we
But
put out. Man, wait, was it one show? Because I know my format I get with somebody, and I record two shows at once. But I
we
think,
did two shows, didn't
was it
we?
two shows? I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
two, or if we just did one long one, because
No,
it was
we
that type
didn't
of
do. I
conversation.
just remember the '80s cartoons.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, but it's one of those like to me, and I'm sure you can relate just because like this is where my creative spark lies. Like I grew up listening to radio,
Hmm.
listening to like Opie and Anthony
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
stuff like that, where it was like for me, it wasn't I wanted to be heard by millions of people. It was I want to be on a microphone and talk to interesting people.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like that's what they did. And so like I remember growing up playing computer games. It's like, oh, I want to talk to Corey and Lori Cole, who made the Quest for Glory games. They're in the
Hmm.
credits, and they're like my heroes because I get to play this because of them, and I got to
Yeah.
do that. And like that's where I really have a lot of fun with this. And then, but it's funny. The most fun I've had has been talking to folks like you,
Hmm.
talking to Captain Mike from my favorite
Yes.
podcast now defunct, the Bad Fodder
Mm.
Figures, Devious Mr. Matt, Love Box. Like I love chatting with people in this community because it's just like in our oh god, I don't want to be exclusive, but like our community, we're just older people who play games
Yeah.
and do what we can to find the time to do it. And like it's cool to talk to other people that are in that spot because it's like when one of us finds a game where it's like, dude, you got to choke your kids to sleep and go play this game because you know it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been man, like it's already been a few minutes, and it's like this is fun, man. I forgot how much.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. You know, and it's like I have like, like I put out the solo show. I did a few solo shows before that.
Yeah, listen
And
to him.
and it's like I I'm all right talking to myself, but it's not the same as finding somebody to like,
Yeah.
to click with and talk with somebody. Like, like when I wanted to do this, I think I've mentioned this before. I forgot with who, but I feel like I've said it on the show before. Like my whole thought for putting this show together to like have it there
Mhm.
was for exactly that, to just talk to interesting people about stuff.
Yeah.
And like I'm trying to get uh I'm trying to get somebody on the show that is running a Discord right now that I'm in, that
Mhm.
she's in Australia. And she well, it's for a book subscription
Yeah.
that I do, that I'm on, right? This book subscription, they had an official Discord server
That's
that
so cool.
was full of people, everybody talking all the time. It was a great community. And
Yeah.
then one morning they just said, you know what, we're shutting this down, and
Oh, oh
we're not going to have this Discord anymore. Everybody has to go. You can't stay here, you don't got to go home,
no,
and
man.
and like their whole thing was they wanted to open up forums on their site or something.
Oh, that's like going
Yeah.
from 2010 back to 93. What are you doing?
Yeah, all right. That is exactly what everybody said. So it was like literally on that same day that they shut it down, like this girl went and opened up her own Discord. And it was like the unofficial Discord for that subscription box. So the
Yeah.
community is still thriving because she put it all together and stuff.
Oh,
So
good
it's
for
like,
her, man. That's awesome.
so I'm trying to get her on, so to talk about that and all that, and trying to get somebody else on that is a friend of the wife's, that me and her, we geek out a lot over different books and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get her on to talk about a book that is out right now that is just like ridiculously like viral right now. I don't know if you've kept up with
Oh, yeah.
anything, but it's called Fourth Wing. That
Have
it
heard, have not read.
Yeah, it is ridiculously like hyped up right now. Like it is on fire how it's just ablaze out there. So she read it, she went through it and everything. She goes through books like water. So I
Mhm.
wanted to, talk to her about that, and it's like it's just
Yeah.
different stuff, different people, different walks of life, different, aspects to things. Like I want to talk about that stuff, and that's what this is for.
Dope, man.
So so yeah, you I don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but it's like
If you want to talk books, let me tell you, I combine it with my heroin gaming habit.
yeah.
Basically, like if I had to pick one game, like as much as I've been loving Diablo 4,
Uh-huh.
but if there's one drug I always go back to when that runs out, it's Total War Warhammer 3. And it's
Mhm.
not the game is great, but what I've been doing is I've been like side hitting the lore on YouTube,
Mhm.
and there are channels of these wonderfully done, they're like documentaries, no shit,
Yeah.
on the peoples and history and monsters and enemies of the Warhammer Fantasy universe.
Hmm.
There's a playlist of Warhammer Fantasy. I'll push them. I've been enjoying this for about 6 months
Yeah.
by a channel called Book of Choyer that like starts from the very beginning. And if especially if you play the Total War Warhammer games, you'll start recognizing characters. Well, that was my gateway. And then I started like mainlining the Kindle books.
Mhm.
And I have been reading these Warhammer Fantasy omnibuses. And I'm
Nice.
on one right now called The Sundering, which is a big point of the second Total War Warhammer game, where like the island of elves have split into the elves and dark elves, and basically the elves that went after um just conquest and power, and the other ones are like, what the fuck just happened? We had a structure, and now everybody, and like it's so funny because normally these kind of fantasy books, the writing can be very predictable, crummy, meh. But the people they have writing these Warhammer fantasy books, especially the omnibuses, like I'll send you the list after this.
Yeah, yeah.
The
I'll put
writing,
whatever it is you're talking about, send me it and I'll put it in the show notes so everybody could, check it out.
the writing is ridiculously good. And it's good in the sense of you'll spend a book of an omnibus going, this
Mhm.
guy rocks. I really like them. Or this girl rocks. They're
Yeah.
great. And then the next book, they're like, wow, I can't believe I like them. They're real
Yeah.
asshole. And like it's done in such a brilliant way. And like I always feel like stuff like that gets just kicked to the side because it's
Hmm.
fantasy.
Yep.
And it's like the writing is so good. And I've been having so much fun reading these. Like I'm on like Omnibus 3. Like I've read 8 books in 1 year, and that's like an hour before I fall asleep each
Yeah.
night.
Yep.
Like I'm having a ball. Um, but that's kind of been my thing. Uh, and before that, like I've been lost in the Cosphere or uh Brandon Sanderson Cosmere.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've been loving the Cosmere when I haven't been reading Warhammer, but we can talk about that another time. That's another geek out session, man.
Yeah, it's Sanderson, like I am just now getting put onto him. Like
He's
I
my idol. He's
Yeah,
my
like
idol.
he seems like the almighty, like top tier, everybody's favorite, author for fantasy. Like that's
And
what
it's one of those like he's everyone we say we're gonna be, where it's like, dude,
he
I get paid to just write books. I do it all the time. Except George R. R. Martin built a theater,
uh
Rothfuss went and did things, and Brandon Sanderson said, fuck it, I'm gonna write books.
yep.
And he's been told to slow down. He's like Stephen King. They're like, dude, you're doing like
Yes.
6 a year, man. Like, chill out. Like,
Yeah,
I love
I
that about him. And he's so into it, and he's cool. Like he's a genuinely humble dude. And like he just love like he's I don't care who wants to throw rocks at me for this. Like he is our modern day Tolkien. Like he lives and breathes
that's
the
I
world he's creating.
I have not read anything of him, but what I've heard of him, that's how it comes off as. That's exactly how I pictured him.
Like
And
If Tolkien found his gift, I'll put it to you this way, Liz, because I know you love Tolkien as much as I do.
mhm,
If he had found like his real urgent gift about 25 to 30 years before he did,
mhm,
it's like everybody like he for anyone who doesn't geek out like we do, Tolkien didn't publish the Lord of the Rings itself till he was in his late 50s.
Mhm.
And he wanted to make a mythology. He wanted to do this great thing once he like found his rhythm. Brandon Sanderson did this as like borderline tween and 20s. And
I just looked it up. He's 47 right now.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's 6 years older than me doing what I should have done
Mhm.
20 years ago.
Yep.
And like he he went for it, and he is making that mythos. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds silly, but like if our culture goes extinct and something else takes over, this will be like the Beowulf. Like, who wrote this saga? What the hell is this? Like,
Oh,
he put so much detail into it, and he's got like, Christ, there's got to be over 10 novels, and every novel setting, not every novel, but every trilogy, whatever it is, like the setting's different, the world's different,
man.
the magic rules are different, but they all take place in the same universe,
Mm,
and it all makes sense under the
that's
rules
awesome.
that he's writing.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's awesome. Brilliant.
Yeah, I have a the one that I have on my list is the newest one, the Tress of the Emerald Sea. That one came out fairly recently, maybe like the beginning of the year.
Hmm. Yeah.
That one is the one that caught my attention because he got into it with Audible, and and
Gotta
that
love
that made some headlines that made me pay attention to him. So yeah, he was like totally against Amazon and all their evil practices that they have, against authors and everybody, like, the lack of pay that they give people who create and all that stuff. So he
Yeah.
was like,
Full disclosure, I paid on his Patreon because I want his books.
there you go, yeah.
Everybody else, and I love him.
Yeah, I was like, wanting to find a jumping in point
Yeah.
because he's like you said, he's got a lot of stuff. So, I figured this would be like a good one to jump into. So I'm gonna pick that up whenever I get a chance to.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what you think about it because like it's like each series is on a different world in the same universe,
Yeah.
and it'll have different rules. But the more you start reading each series, you're like, oh, these all kind of line up in a weird way. And then you start going down like the internet rabbit hole of the Cosmere, and
Mhm.
it's like you're reading about a universe and people in this universe. He does it in a way that like it never breaks the rules. And to me,
Mm.
that's brilliant. Like it's wild. Like, as a writer, I've always wanted to do that. And like I just admire that like he has nailed it. And I mainly wanted to do it back in the day because I never read anything like it. And it's like, well, now I don't need to because I
Yes.
got his shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on a heavy kick with fantasy stuff. Like
I
lately
love it.
it's just been like, usually I'm all sci-fi and getting into that, but I've been on a kick lately, and that seems like it's right up there, right up my alley. I just finished Legends and Lattes, and
Ooh,
that was like perfect. Like
nice.
it is like, it wasn't as good as a wizard's guide to defensive baking. I don't know if you read that
I
one or
have
if you
not
heard.
read that, but that is
Okay.
immediately on my list.
Yes, that is that one actually, from the beginning of the year up until that book, I was on a roll. I was reading like crazy. I was, knocking them out back to back to back. And when
Nice.
I finished that one, it was so good that like I took a break. I was like, okay, I don't need to read nothing else right now. Let that one simmer. Let
Let it
it
simmer.
let it
Yep.
marinate in
Good.
there.
Yeah.
And it was just that good. Like I loved it that much. And it was like the perfect mix of like funny and like action and magic, and it was real good. So I recommend that one. I recommend Legends and Lattes as well. Like that
I'm
was.
gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it now. I gotta throw one at you for digestible. Uh, it's a long bunch of stories, but they're all fun. It's a you. I don't know if I ever sent you like my dips into urban fantasy when I was trying to get books published, but urban fantasy is one of my
No,
favorite.
you never sent nothing.
I'll have to send you my Merlin stories, but if you're bored, but you have to be really bored. But um one of my favorites there I have two favorite series that really inspired me as a writer for I always wanted to combine fantasy and the modern day. The first
Nice.
series is the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher.
That sounds very familiar. Yep.
Oh my God, you haven't read those?
No, I have no.
Dude.
I have not, but they sound familiar. I feel like I've seen them like on my list that
Oh, you
I've
have.
gone through.
There was they sci-fi tried to do a show of it. It just shows you how much they failed. But the Dresden Files have a really cool premise of um Harry Dresden. He's a modern day person, private detective, and wizard. And it starts out with him just finding things or solving things because of, using magic abilities but keeping them secret.
Hmm.
It's written with a very sarcastic tone, and as a fellow Audible lover, the whole series is narrated by James Marsters.
Ah,
Now, who's James Marsters? Spike from Buffy.
correct, correct.
So
Yep.
we'll leave that there. But he's brilliant as Harry Dresden. And then my second one that was like the double cocktail that was like, this is what I want to write was Kevin Hearn's Iron Druid. And this one combines like my love of nature and my love of ancient magical people hiding in plain sight. The
Hmm.
main character is a druid, like an ancient Irish druid who still steals a sword in the ancient times, and now he runs a rare bookshop in like a middle of a college town in Arizona. Like, but he survived 2 millennia, and
Oh,
it's written from that perspective, and it's hilarious and it's funny, and like for people like us that love mythology and like
mhm.
Norse mythology and Slavic mythology, like it's a wonderful series of I don't know 8 9 books where it's like the books are wonderful. The audible recordings by Lou Daniels are fantastic.
Mhm.
And like he just does wonderful voices, and you can just lose yourself in them. And like that was my perfect cocktail of like, I have to find the book I want to write. And that was like where my Merlin books came from. But I feel like they're too derivative and too copying of what I read from those times. But for Dresden Files and Iron Druid, which are amazing. They're so much fun. Can't recommend them enough. You would love them.
That one sounds like it's right up my alley. Like I love that whole aspect. I love everything that has like a twist to the way that you originally know whatever it is.
Yes.
It's especially modern day twists. Like I could really get behind those. I love those.
Oh, you would love it, dude. It's great. Like it, it's both of them. Like Dresden Files, like I said, private detective, using magic to solve problems, working with the cops, trying not to get arrested. It's great. It's fantastic. Iron Druid is even more. He's trying to stay hidden, trying to live normal, and he's being hunted by Irish gods. And they finally find him after 2 millennia, and that starts a whole thing. And I'm telling you, read Hunted,
Mm.
by Kevin Hearn.
All
Or no, Hounded. Sorry, Hunted is later in the series.
right.
Check out the first book in the Iron Druid saga. You'll read it in a night. It's not that long.
Yeah.
I started reading it at like 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. Had a 4 a.m. book over hangover. Couldn't stop.
Yeah, I'm checking it out. I'm looking to see if my library has it right now. Let me see.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Let me see. It's loading. It's loading.
I think it's Hounded.
All right.
Hounded is the first one.
Yeah, it's looking like they're all there.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah, I'll check them out. There you go.
And he has a
All right.
link, a mental link with his dog, who is probably one of my favorite characters because they talk to each other. Chicken
Oh
sausage solves everything.
man. Yeah, that sounds like the next read after the next one on my list.
Oh, dude, if you ever read this, you got to tell me about it. Like, I
Yeah.
can't wait. Like, I need somebody else to obsess over this series with me.
You see, it seems like one of those that I was like, if I was to read the description, but the way you're
No,
describing
no, the
it
description is
is,
garbage.
yeah.
No, it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it enough justice, man. Like, there's
Mm,
too much. The author does so much wonderful homework of mythology, and like the character hangs out with gods,
mm,
of the Tuatha Danann, and like the Irish gods, the Norse gods. He tangles with Norse gods, like, and it's written smartly. Like, this person knows, the author knows their mythology, and it makes it so interesting because they still make it where it's like, yeah, if you know Odin shows up with I forget the six-legged beast in the modern day, you're still gonna stop it and say, all right, what do you want?
mm.
Like, it's cool. It's really
Yeah.
cool. It's really well written.
All right. So we got, it looks like we got like 3 more minutes here.
4 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
before
dude,
the
I
thing
killed your
goes.
show. I'm so
But
sorry.
no, that's what the freaking show is. But maybe if you want to hang around, maybe we could do another one.
Yeah,
If
let's do
it's up
another
to
one.
you. All right. So we'll shut this one out so we could restart another meeting. I'm working on the free Zoom account here. So but
Step at a
but
time. Oh,
uh
good. I'm
but
working on an empty drink, so I'll go get another.
for we got 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh
What's up?
real quick.
Mhm.
What full-time dad, full-time job,
Sure.
where is the time to pump all the hours into Diablo 4, to read Brandon Sanderson books, to
Sure.
like do all this stuff? Like what is it that's going on?
So, like, my wife and I will spend time at night, but there are nights where it's just like she's
You
beat,
you
I'm
don't
beat.
sleep. You don't sleep. That's it.
Well, I also, but here's the thing, I don't commute. So I work from home.
Uh-huh.
So I can stay up till now and still get 8 hours sleep and show up to work early,
Yeah.
especially working
There you
for a
go.
Pacific company,
Hmm.
you know, and a Pacific time zone company. So it's like
There you go. I
I
got you.
can spend time with my family, but I don't sleep. You're right. I'm still probably like 2-3 hours out of there. But yeah, it's I spend time with my kids, and we get our kids to bed earlier probably than most. Like, at this point, they're out of school. We get them to bed, not bed, but get them at like 8 p.m.
Yeah. Mhm.
And they go up, watch their tablets, watch a movie or something. And, you know, most nights it's just like, all right, I'm checking out, go to bed too. But there are a couple nights a week where it's like, my
Yeah.
wife and I say goodnight. I'll see you later. And she stays up later than I do. So when I crash after 2 hours of Diablo, like,
Uh,
we can still hang out and do our thing. But it's just one of those, like, I don't, ever since I had kids, I just don't sleep well. And I know
yeah.
that's like, it's so stupid to say,
Hmm.
but I just don't. And so it's like I can either lay there and look at the clock, or I can really just
Yeah.
do something until I'm ready to like fall asleep.
Yep.
And that's what
That's
I do.
that's how it is for me too. Yeah. Like I'll sit there and usually what makes me go to sleep is when the phone smacks me in the face. That's
Yes, because I'm reading my Kindle.
yeah. All right. All right. So we'll jump out of here and we'll put this show to rest and we'll do another one.
Yeah,
So
we'll see you in
go
a week,
ahead.
but in 2 minutes.
Go go ahead and you got a good minute to shout out yourself, to do whatever, to let them know what your show is and all that stuff
I
for this
appreciate
episode.
that, man. I appreciate that. It'll basically be a restart, not a restart, but a continuation of the retro rents with me and my friend Nick. We generally talk about the games we're playing, the games we love, and the classic games that we started out with. I generally talk about the ones I'm sharing with my kids, but it's generally about the games that catch our eye, and we're weird and we have weird taste. And if you want to just find stuff you wouldn't normally hear of, come check us out. The problem is we haven't done this in like 5 months, and we're gonna get back to it because Los reignited the bug tonight, and
Hmm.
I forgot how much I miss this, man. Thank you. I
You're
really
wel-
miss doing this.
you're welcome. So
All right, we'll
so
do it again in a minute, and I need another sipper.
yep. All right. Thank you very much, Al.
Thank you, Los.
All right, what is up? This is me doing a little post editing decision here. I was going to put Al's second show here and make it one long recording with him, and I decided against it. I was listening to it while I was editing and figured this is, long enough and good enough to be its own thing. So why not? I'm going to go ahead and call it for this one. And I'm sorry, unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait the next episode, whenever that is, 2 weeks probably, to get some more Al in your life. But go check out his show, Retro Rents. He put out a show for the first time in a while. So go check him out over there. And until next time, I'll catch you later.